Okay, welcome to the video tutorial for Vialogs.com. In this tutorial I'm going to walk you through how to set up an account on this website and how to get started using it by uploading your videos or linking your videos from YouTube or Vimeo and then engaging in a discussion around those videos. So we're going to get started. The first thing you need to do when you get to the site is to create an account. You can't really do anything on Vialogs without an account. You can explore around and look at other people's videos, but that doesn't really do a whole lot for you. So you want to create an account. And any students you want to have use this, they also need to create an account. So we'll talk about how you set the students up in a second. But let's go ahead and click on Login. It'll bring you to the login screen. If you don't have an account yet, you're going to hit Create an Account. And if you're creating the account for yourself, it's pretty straightforward. You're just going to put your name and your username and your email, whatever you want those all to be. But if you're creating this account for students or you're helping students create an account, you might run into an issue with the email address because students do not have a county issued email address. Some of them have personal email, some of them don't. Some of them use their parents' email, and it just kind of gets tricky. So we're going to set this one up for a student account without an email, just to kind of give you the option of setting it up that way. So you should have them put their name in, their regular name, their first name. So their first name would go here, their last name would go here. Now one option you have here is to not use last names. If you don't want to put last names out on the web, that's probably a good idea. You could have them use the first name with the last name Stonebridge or last name as the teacher last name, because later on you're going to want to search for these students and create groups. And if you just search Michael, for example, you're going to find every Michael that's ever registered for this site in the whole world. So you want it to be Michael Stonebridge or Michael Roundsley, teacher of the last name, whatever helps you search for that name. You can always use their real last names, but if you have an issue with that, there's workarounds. Their username, I would suggest using their student ID number just to keep it simple for them. And then their email address is either going to be, it could be their first name or their ID number at noemail.com. So I'm going to use the ID number at noemail.com, and that will register for them. The password, I would keep it their student ID number. They can always go in and change that, but then at least you can help them log in because you'll know what it is. Or make it a generic password for your class, maybe your name or something. And then hit register. Alright, and then once you register that account, you can go ahead and log in. So I'm not going to register, I'm just going to log in myself. And it's your email address and whatever password you created. Okay, so once we log in, you'll notice that your name appears up here on the right. By clicking this little arrow, you can access your profile, any groups that you've created, and your account settings. Account settings is where you're going to change your password later on if you want to, or if students want to go in and change their passwords, they can do it there. Okay, so we'll come back to this area in a little bit, but let's go ahead and create a Vialog and get started and kind of see how this works. So to create a Vialog, you're just going to hit the Create button. And it's going to pull you to a page that asks you to fill in some basic information. First, you want to decide where the video is coming from. You're either going to upload one that you created that's on your hard drive, use an existing one that maybe you've used in a previous Vialog, use one from YouTube, or use one from Vimeo. Okay, so once you have the video on YouTube, you're going to copy the URL from the top of the page. You're going to highlight it, right-click Copy, then go back to your Vialogs, and you're going to click on Use YouTube Video, and you're going to paste it into that box and then hit Enter. Once you do that, it's going to pull up an icon that shows you what video you've selected to make sure you have the right one. Any description that was uploaded into YouTube will be there, and any other information will be there. Then you're going to scroll down and you're going to define your Vialog a little bit more. Again, it asks you for a title. You can change this at this point if you want to, or just keep it the same. Doesn't really matter. The description is where you're going to basically give your assignment to students. You're going to explain to them maybe why they're watching this video, what you want them to do while they're watching it. Do you want them to comment? Do you want them to answer your survey questions? So you could just give them some basic directions here. You could put a lot more in there if you want to. You have 500 characters to write a description there, so you can go into some detail as you need to. Once you do that, you're just going to hit Create Vialog. It's going to take a couple seconds, and it'll pull you into a new screen. Now my new screen shows me my video. It also shows me my title I made and the description, which is basically my instructions to students. Now you notice over here that my settings by default are public. So you need to change that if you want to make a private Vialog. If you want to keep it public, you just leave it, that's fine. If you want to change it, you just toggle this change button. So I'm just going to hit change. And when I do that, it's going to automatically set me to selective, which is the privacy setting. Now under selective, what I have to do is either share my secure link out to students so that anyone that has the link can participate, or I can actually create a group by searching for my students. So if you know their names based on the accounts they set up, this is why I was talking about making sure that they use either their real full name or their name with the name of the school or the teacher after it. Because what's going to happen if I search Michael, okay, it's going to pull up every Michael that's ever registered on this site. So you really want to make sure you have the right student. So I created a student called Stonebridge High School student. All right, I'm going to search for them. They're going to pop up. You just click on them, and they're now a participant in your Vialog. And you can just add as many students there as you want to. You could change the moderator or keep yourself the moderator. The moderator will default to whoever the owner of the Vialog is. Okay, and we're going to hit save. Now once we hit save, to actually go see our Vialog, you're just going to click on the video image itself, and it's going to take you to your Vialog page. And this is how students will see it when they log in. They're going to see the video, they're going to see a space down here where they can enter comments, and they're going to see any survey questions that you post. So if I'm a student and I'm watching this video, when I get to a point where I want to make a comment, I can just let the video get to that point, and then I can say something about that moment. Now if I pause it, basically it's going to capture my thought at this particular time frame. So any other students can go and notice, oh, at 14 seconds I made this comment. Alright, and so they can go and look and see what I'm referring to. Okay, so I could let the video go a little bit more. Alright, and anytime I stop it, it's going to register that timestamp. Now the other thing you can do as a teacher or as the owner of the Vialog is you can set up Q&A survey questions. Now these survey questions are anonymous, so you'll notice that when a student comments, their name shows up, but the student survey questions are just going to be a survey. That's sort of like the active votes. You can pose the questions, students will respond, and you can kind of get a gauge of how many students feel a certain way or how many voted a certain way, but you don't get to see exactly who completed that survey question. Let me show you a little bit more about what I mean here. So I'm going to click on the Q&A, and this is going to register at whatever your timestamp is. So this is 25 seconds into the video. Okay, so you give them a question, so you're guiding them at 24 seconds in, I want you to start thinking about this. And then you can give them some choices, multiple choice, or you could do a check all that apply type question. But I'm just going to do multiple choice. Alright, and then once you put in a choice, you just click on this little plus sign, and it's going to give you another box. Okay, once I have all my choices in, I'm going to hit post. Now what's going to happen is this is going to show up on the right hand side when the student logs in, and it's going to show this red submit response button. So they'll know as soon as they get there. They'll see any comments that have been made, but they'll know they have to actually submit a response. At 24 seconds in, they should be looking for the answer to the question you asked. So you can keep doing that too. You can let the video play and go to different parts, and then make another Q&A, and it'll be at that point in the video that you're now at. You could assign this so that students have to make a certain amount of comments as they watch the video, and then you can put in a couple Q&A along the way. You can also just put in generic comments that you want them to pay attention to. So at 3:42 in, I'm going to post a comment. Okay, at 3:42 they're going to know pay attention to the next play, so they're going to see, okay, what's coming next. So it just gives you some options on how to deal with that. Okay, so once your Vialog has been viewed and students have commented and respond to your survey questions, you're going to be able to go into this Manage button if you're the owner of the Vialog and see some of the responses of the survey questions and kind of manage your settings. So at any time you can click Manage. What that will do is bring up the original privacy screen that we started with, where we put our participants in and we made ourselves the moderator and changed the privacy settings. But down here you have a couple more options. You can click on Polls, which are your survey questions, and you can see what the responses look like. Let me pull one up that I've already done. It's going to show you a little graph and show you where kids are falling in terms of their opinions. Like I said, it's totally anonymous. It's just like a random voting, but it could be fun for different things that you might want to poll. The Advanced tab is where you can delete your Vialog if you want to delete it. Just know that this will delete it permanently. You cannot restore it after you delete it. And you can also delete all the comments at once, but also again, if you delete all the comments, you can't get them back. All right. Up here, this little graph right here will show you at what time in the video comments were made, and you can kind of track to see where students are making most of their comments in a video. You can also delete comments from the page itself. So instead of deleting all the comments from your Vialog, you go in and say, I don't want this comment from this particular student. I'm just going to put an X there and delete the comment. All right. Now, if it is a comment that you made, you'll get that little pencil mark that was just there, and you can edit it at any time. So anything you've done, any comments you've made, you can edit at any time. It'll look like this, and you could pull up this box, and you could edit. You could edit your comment, you could edit your choice. All right, or if it's just a simple comment, you can just edit the comment. Okay, so that's basically how Vialogs works. I hope you enjoy using it. I hope you try it out. And it's a great way to start flipping the classroom and give videos for homework and use some of your class time for other ideas. So thanks for watching.